So in this recording, I'm going to show you a little bit about using conda to handle different Python environments for data science, installing packages, and then at the end linking it to Visual Studio Code so that you can switch between them. I'll start out by I've got the terminal open here, and then when I installed conda, I clicked the button to say, automatically start Anaconda whenever I open the shell. If I didn't do that, I'd have to sort of manually activate conda, and then suddenly this base would appear. So if I type conda end list, I can show you that this is a brand new installation of Anaconda, and there's only one in Python that has been installed so far. So that's the one that's just living inside this base environment. Now, to install new packages or tools that are outside of Python, you can start typing, say, conda install some package you want, or if it's just a Python package, pip install that package. But in fact, the base environment is not really meant to be used by us. In a sense, it's not meant to be used by the users. It's what Anaconda itself uses to update itself and keep everything working, like the infrastructure of Anaconda. So I have managed to break Anaconda by installing into the base environment and trying to change things, and then getting to such a bad situation, I just had to delete the whole installation of conda, reinstall it from scratch, and start again. So because of that, I try to follow what their recommended guidance, which is to use a new environment for different kinds of projects. So we can create one using conda create -n to give it a name. So let's say we have a machine learning workspace, and we want to have that running Python version 3.13, the newest one. Let's see if that works. If we hit enter, then what Conjure is going to do is going to figure out what does it need to install in terms of all the different packages to create a new environment. So a new version of Python 3.13, it will live inside this directory. That's not that important, and it'll get all this background stuff that's kind of just necessary. So yes, continue. So we've got a new environment, but we need to tell Anaconda when we want to start using it, and that's using the activate command. So conda activate, and then the name of the environment, we just called it ML for machine learning, and the shell will update to let us know, okay, we're in the machine learning environment now. If we go which Python, we'll see that this is a different installation of Python to the previous one. Right, so we have Python 3.13 here. If I just do conda activate base and call that again, we can see we've got an older version of Python living in the base environment compared to the new one that we just installed when we created the ML environment. So what I do is I'll go back to the ML environment, and then for machine learning, we probably want some standard tools. I'll pip install them, say numpy, pandas, matplotlib, scikit-learn. So I try to put them all on one command so that pip can figure out all the dependencies between them, what versions need to be, one set of versions of all of these so that they'll all work together nicely. If you do them one by one, it can slow down this process and it lead to installing many different versions of the same code as you go through this process. Okay, so now let's say that's one environment. I've got subtasks which only need those packages. But I've got another one where I want to create something for deep learning. So I'll make a new environment, call it AI instead of ML. I happen to know that a lot of the deep learning packages, they are much slower to get updated. So when a new Python comes out, you can expect somewhat quickly that like things like NumPy, Pandas, and so on will be updated to it pretty much right away. But PyTorch and TensorFlow, for example, they don't tend to bother with that. I think they just wait until they're ready to release a new version of PyTorch or TensorFlow, then have a look at what's the new version of Python that's sort of been out, even if it's 6 months old, and then try to get it working for them then at that point, or maybe even a year later. So that's a long way of saying I'm purposely going to install an older version of Python here, two minor versions ago, for my deep learning environment. So agree to that. And let's say in there, I want to activate it and then install TensorFlow, Keras, and well, that should be enough for now. So that's installed. Now, typically, if you're doing some data science, you're not going to be here on the terminal actually running the code manually like this. Don't even have pandas. Okay, what you'd want to do is have a Jupyter notebook and link it to these conda environments. And when you run the cells in your Jupyter notebook, it redirects the code to the correct Python installation and then gives you the results that way. Now, the way to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just try to open up VS Code now and show see what it does, because I'm pretty sure it will fail to pick up these new Python installations. So let's try. So we'll do Control-Shift-P, create new Jupyter notebook. So that happened to be recently used for me. Now, let's say I want to run 1+1. When I try to run that, or if I went over here and clicked select kernel, it would have done the same thing. It would have popped up which Python do you want to run this Jupyter notebook in. Interesting. So looks like this has changed from the past. Now it's picked up, I don't know which magic it used to pick this up, that there's a few different installations. So it found the base environment from conda, or Miniforge, how I installed it. It picked up the AI environment, the ML environment, and even the system Python that's installed when you install the Xcode command line tools. So that one you should never ever use. The base one, as I've said, some people just throw everything in the base if they don't have multiple projects that they're juggling, and that can work in the short term. But if you're like me, you have a few different environments and you want to separate them, and you pick the one you want. So let's say we pick the machine learning one here. Okay. Okay, I thought that's what happened. Now, each of those conda environments, they need to have a package installed in them, and it's called ipykernel. All this does is it helps Jupyter notebooks be able to communicate with that package and actually use that installation of Python. And so you can do it manually, like if you so here I trying to open the ML package, but say in the terminal I still have the AI package enabled. I can pip install ipykernel if you wanted to. And let's see, if we open that one up, VS Code probably won't give us the prompt, right? Because we've already installed it manually. But for the ML one, let's just watch VS Code do that for us. Click install. Done. ML 1+1, are you going to give me the result? Oh, wonderful. Now, remember when we had the ML kernel environment activated earlier, we installed a bunch of things. So scikit-learn, for example. This is a very unfortunate, it's a wonderful package, but it's unfortunate that the name you have to give here to install it is actually different to the name of the package when you import it. Whatever is sklearn. So let's get AI to write some code that uses sklearn. Okay. Well, okay, it's not doing anything too fancy, but it's loading up a dataset, the iris dataset from sklearn, so that's showing that that's working. Now, let's say we want to change over and use that other version of the other environment, the other Python we installed. So we go select another kernel, Python environment. We'll try the AI one. So over in the AI kernel, notice that it just activated immediately. So if I run this cell, it's working straight away. I didn't have that pop up. You need ipykernel. That's because we did it manually. Just here. But for this one, we didn't install sklearn. Let's see. Yeah, so if we run this cell, now we can tell we're definitely on a different version of Python because we don't have that package that was working just a moment ago, right, from the other environment. So that's showing you the way that you can handle multiple different environments and have them separated, so you can change the dependencies, the packages of one of them without modifying all the other ones. Okay, I think so. The way that it found those packages was a bit surprising to me. In the past, I used to have to install this code. So conda install nb kernel conda or something like that. Well, anyway, it looks like VS Code's gotten even better recently. So that's how to handle different environments. Cancel that. Oh, just to show you, for completeness sake, if I want to remove an environment, I think it's something like this. So you need to sort of move out of the environment before you try to remove it. So I think this will fail because I try to delete the AI environment that I'm already in. Yep. So to move to the base environment, I can type conda activate base or just conda activate up to find this last command. Now if I run that, it'll go through and wipe out that version of Python and all those things that you also installed when that AI environment was activated. So this is useful for cleaning up environments you don't need anymore. Otherwise, before you clean up, it's probably a good idea to, if you actually did want to be able to recreate this later in the future, there are some ways to get a list of all the packages that are currently installed. Pip freeze is one, maybe conda info, I think. Okay, that's not it, but conda list. Okay, that's kind of useful. So if you want, you can sort of keep a copy of this list of everything is in an environment and then try to recreate a new environment from it. That's probably the command you want, actually. Anyway, I'll end the video there. Thanks very much.